Hello, my name is Sofia Gonzalez and I'm from Cal State Fullerton.
My name is Liliana Hernandez. I am a student at CSUN.
Okay. My name is Alberto Gutierrez and I attend California State Northridge.
I think it's having self-awareness, like a vision of yourself and what you believe in and what you don't believe in and what values you hold high. It's more like inner rather than like what you think of others or the things you've gathered from other people, but values that you think are important to yourself.
Individuality, I would say, means it's what makes you unique from everybody else, what sets you apart from society or your community.
When I think of the term individuality, I think of like yourself. Like it's the thing that makes you you, and it sets you apart from everybody else, and no one else has it.
I think it's important because sometimes people tend to like forget who they are, or they forget like their purpose or their reason in life. And having individuality means that they're like self-awareness. They're aware of their self, and they know like where they belong in their own world without having anyone else to guide them to that. And it's not important in society, but more important for each individual, each person, rather than like a group thing.
It's important because it helps stimulate the community. You know, if everybody is an exact copy of each other, then there's no growth.
Individuality is important because, you know, if everyone had the same type of character, then the world would be just like robot, you know, like, you know that one movie with Will Smith?
Especially in like teenagers and young people, they lose track of who they are, and they lose track of where they belong, and they tend to fall into like peer pressure, and maybe they do things they don't really want to do or they don't believe in. They may have trouble because they, like I was saying, they might forget who they are, or they might forget the beliefs they hold high for themselves, and they tend to look for it in others rather than themselves, like a whole self-awareness thing. And so it can like draw away from the importance of learning about yourself and what's better for yourself, rather than focusing it more on other people or looking for it in other groups or maybe like friends that may not be the best influence. So yeah.
People have trouble finding their individuality because they're scared. They're scared to be different and to be judged, and that's what we constantly do. We judge each other, and mainly ourselves, because we know we're not like the person next to us when we really want to be.
Well, I think people have trouble finding individuality because they're always so fixated on everything else, like with the social media, all of this other stuff, like, you know, the SoundCloud rappers, you know.
The sunken place is a place in someone's like mind where they go when they're feeling like oppressed, or they're feeling alone, they're feeling lonely. And it usually happens when they're marginalized or they feel left out.
The second place is kind of a circumstance we fall under because of the dominating class. We're marginalized into a place that we have no voice, that we're silenced, or we're used in a way that they're kind of appropriating our culture.
Well, when you say sunken place, I think of the movie, Get Out, obviously. It's just that place that, where people are not showing emotion, like I said, and like they're fixated on everything else that's happening. So like for me, I would say just like you pay too much attention to everyone else that you're not focused on yourself.
If a certain group or a certain society continuously makes them feel like oppressed or makes them feel left out, sorry, it may be hard for them to like come out of that, and maybe without like individuality or finding like purpose in oneself, they may become like, it may be harder for them to realize that there's an exit out of this sunken place and they're not really alone. So they wouldn't really need someone else to take them out, but they would have their own self-awareness to help them get out of that.
They could get stuck by not being true to themselves. They try to find a mold and they try to fit that mold instead of finding who they really are. And sometimes they forget that that's not the person that they're meant to be because they're so fixated on pleasing other people.
I would say paying too much attention to social media and not going out as much, showing your emotions to people, having that person to talk to, and just trying to be yourself in the best possible way.
I have like a personal experience that I want to kind of share. It's not too like specific, but in high school, getting older, I always looked for like how do you say? I looked for like acceptance, recognition. Like there's a word. I'm sorry, but yeah, I looked for it in people. I wanted people to like me, basically. I wanted to fit the standards of what other people wanted. But over time, I realized that, it shouldn't be that way, that I that I change myself, or that I look for acceptance through other people, and it shouldn't be that you're looking for that. It should be that you're finding that in yourself, and you're bettering yourself for only yourself rather than others, or you're adjusting the way you are and the way you grew up to be in order to fit the standards of others.
Okay, some advice is to not be scared, not to limit themselves, and to be really open to growth and doing what you're comfortable with, but also stepping out of your comfort zone.
Some advice I would give is go out, find friends, don't be shy, just be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else that you may have saw on your phone or on TV, because you'll end up looking stupid.